So I did it. We got another one under contract. We did it. We won. My buyers secured a house in New Braunfels, Texas, with the lowest inventory around. Historic lows. We're still making victories here. Alright, all jokes aside, this market's nuts. I gotta go over it again. I know I just recently did a market overview, but I just want to tell some stories. It's just crazy out here. So in this video, we're gonna go over just that, how crazy this market is right now, and just some cool stories of some victories that we've been having, and how we're having to achieve these victories. So if that's something you want to know, stick around. What up, y'all? It's Travis Stegall with eXp Realty right here in New Braunfels, Texas. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about working, playing, eating, hanging out, being a part of the community right here in New Braunfels, Texas, well then hit that subscribe button and click that little bell. That way you're notified every time we drop a new video. And honestly, my team and me are getting calls every single week from folks just like you who are looking into the New Braunfels area. So if you're thinking about buying or relocating anywhere in the New Braunfels area, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when moving to Texas. All right, let's go. All right, so we did it. Got another one under contract, working with some amazing buyers from out of state. They flew in, again, similar to my last clients and my previous clients. They flew in, they had 2 days to find the house of their dreams, get it under contract, and then get back on a plane, go back home, pack up all their stuff, and move this way. All right, so, let's go over, how the time went, how the weekend went. So we got started on a Friday. We were looking at houses. There was, I think we saw like 7 different houses that day. And I believe, like house number 1 and house number 3, my clients really liked and they wanted to make offers on. And so when I called on that house number 1 and asked the listing agent, hey, I'm about to submit an offer. Have you guys received any offers? I always like to do that. I always like to call the listing agent. Not all the listing agents are gonna answer, but I like to call them, see if they've had any other offers, kind of get an idea, feel for what we're gonna be going up against before I submit my offer. So I called the agent, and the house had just listed that morning, and I said, hey, I'm gonna be submitting an offer, and he said, sorry, we just accepted an offer. So one thing I want to point out in this story is this market's so crazy. If you see that house that you want to make an offer on, stop everything you're doing and make an offer. Don't wait around continuing to look at houses. It's okay that we did it, and it was a unique situation with my clients only having a very short amount of time to be here, and they really did want to see everything that we had to offer. And so hindsight's 2020. So on Saturday, we actually were looking at houses. Same thing happened. Very first house we saw on Saturday, they loved it, they wanted to make an offer. So before we saw any more houses, I went inside my truck, I told them to go grab a bite to eat or something to drink, and I sat down there and just wrote up the offer. Sent it over to them through email. They were able to digitally sign the documents, and then I submitted them off to the listing agent right away. By the time we walked out of the house, by the time we sent the documents off, it was a matter of minutes. And that house, we actually offered $15,000 over list price, and list price was probably at the higher end of the appraisal value, I would say. And so for us to go $15,000 $400,000 over, and it was very strong financing. It was conventional with 20% down. We were hoping and expecting to get an answer from the sellers right away, and they didn't give us an answer right away. And so we continued the hunt. We were on a time schedule, and they wanted to find the house while they were here in Texas before, they didn't want to have to do any virtual showings. They wanted to be in person to see the house they were going to buy, and I don't blame them. So the day went on. We continued to look at houses, and we just didn't find anything that was really meeting everything we really liked. I know my clients, they were wanting to have something a little bit newer that they didn't have to do anything to once they moved in. They wanted to not have to lift a finger, and they really liked the new construction route. So one of the last places we took them to was a new construction community by Lennar. It's called Voss Farms. It's a huge neighborhood in New Braunfels with lots of houses, and it's actually the only new construction development that has move-in ready inventory for the price point of $300,000 or less. And I know because I called every single neighborhood with new construction and talked to every single builder asking if they had move-in ready inventory, and I couldn't find anywhere. The only thing I did find something was around $340,000, but it was a beautiful home. Had 3-car garage, small little neighborhood, no amenities. It was gonna have a park, but whereas Voss Farms, they have 2 separate swimming pools, a playground, and everything else. So with that, we were able to get them a brand new house for $308,000, and it was 3 bedrooms plus a study or an add-on room. You can make it a formal dining room, a kids play area, all kinds of options. And it was towards the front of the house. It was beautiful layout. Right when you walk in the door, you see all the way through the back into the backyard. I love houses that are like that. It has a beautiful open concept, white colored granite countertops, white cabinets. It's just turnkey. It's beautiful. They're going to be able to get their own third-party inspection, which I recommend to all my clients getting. And then also they're going to have the final walkthrough where they go through with blue tape and different colored tape and mark every single thing that they see around the entire house, and that will all be fixed before they get the keys for that house. So to say the least, my clients were extremely happy, and it was so nice that we didn't have to compete against anybody. We didn't have to put in an offer over list, and so that was a huge victory for us. Yeah, it was an easy way to get someone a house is new construction, but hey, in this market, it's one of the best options to go. I will say that it is extremely one of the best options, the best routes to go if you are using a VA loan or an FHA loan, or even if you're using a conventional with only 3 or 5% down. All those financing options, if that's what you're thinking about using, new construction is definitely a way to consider, a way to go, because the resale houses that are $300,000 or less are just extremely competitive, even $400,000 or less. It's just so competitive right now in all price tiers, but especially in that $300,000 or less. You find in that range, you're finding a lot of investors coming into the market with cash. A lot of them are out-of-state investors, and so it's just so hard to compete with offers like that. Whenever I do submit my offers, I write something nice about the family, let the sellers know our situation, what we're looking to achieve with this home, and how it'll greatly benefit the buyers, and how it's going to just create so much happiness for their family. And so I like to include that, especially if I know I'm going up against investors, because sometimes you will have a seller that they would rather sell it to a family than just a big money investor. It's not always the situation, but you do get lucky sometimes. And so, you know, like I said, this market's nuts. If you are thinking about putting a 20% down on your loan, it's not necessary. You don't need it to buy a house, but in this market, it makes your offer a whole lot stronger. It was very interesting to me to see that even the first 2 offers we made on the resale houses, that, you know, the one I told y'all about already was $15,000 over, and the other one we did was $10,000 over. And still the sellers, they didn't give us an answer right away. And so after we found that new construction, I had to let the sellers know, hey, cancel our offers. You know, personally for me, in this market, it felt kind of good telling the sellers like, hey, y'all, I guess y'all don't have the upper hand all the time, you know, because they do. You know, in this market, the sellers have the upper hand. It's a seller's market. It's not a buyer's market. I don't know if I see it going back to a strong buyer's market for a while. I know that there's some shortages in supplies when it comes to building supplies. So until these other home builders could really vamp up their inventory of homes, it's just going to be low inventory, high demand. Interest rates have risen a little bit. I know I was talking with one of my lenders the other day, and they said that the gas, the pipeline being, you know, hijacked, it affects the market. You know, all these idle things affect the Federal Reserve, which affects your guys' mortgage loans. So it's just things to be, you know, think about when you're thinking about buying a home. It's a story I wanted to tell y'all. You know, have faith. Don't just give up if you guys are thinking about buying. You know, there's still houses out there, and we're still making victories happen. But sometimes you do have to open up your search a little bit. I know New Braunfels is an amazing place to live and has lots to offer. There are some surrounding small towns within just a few minutes of New Braunfels that might have a little bit more availability, more towards the south end of us in like Stegall and Schertz. But hey, if New Braunfels is where you need to be and you need to be at, let me know and I can make it happen. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that story. I hope, you know, if it sparks any questions or any ideas you guys might have, please drop them down in the comment section. I read every single comment and respond to every single comment. If there's any other topics you guys would like me to cover, leave it down below. And until the next one, peace.